The person of wrong view ends up at emptiness by suppressing all dharmas, whereas the supporter of emptiness considers dharmas as empty of any reality, indestructible and unchangeable. 2. The person of wrong view declares all dharmas to be empty and non-existent, but grasps the empty nature of these dharmas and talks about it. The supporter of emptiness knows the emptiness of dharmas but does not grasp the characteristic and does not talk about it. 3. Furthermore, the person of wrong view, although he verbally professes universal emptiness, loves when he has the occasion to love, is angry when he has the occasion to be angry, is proud when he has the occasion to be proud, makes a mistake when he has the occasion to make a mistake. Thus he is lying to himself. For the disciple of the Buddha, who truly knows emptiness, the mind is unshakable, the fetters do not arise where normally they would arise. In the same way that space cannot be tarnished by fire nor soaked by a shower, so no kinds of passions can become attached to the mind of the supporter of emptiness. 4. Furthermore, the person of wrong view talks about the non-existence of dharmas, but the latter does not originate so much from desire as from cause and condition. On the other hand, true emptiness comes from desire, and that is a difference. If the four boundless ones and pure dharmas, because their object is unreal, are thus unable to produce the true knowledge of emptiness, what can be said then of wrong view? 5. Furthermore, these views are called wrong views. The correct seeing of emptiness is called right view. The person who practices wrong views, in the present lifetime, passes as an evil person. Later he will fall into the hells. The person who practices the true knowledge of emptiness acquires fame in the present lifetime, later he will become a Buddha. These two people differ from one another like water and fire, ambrosia and a poisonous drug, nectar, the food of the gods, and rotten garbage. 6. Furthermore, in true emptiness there is the concentration of the emptiness of emptiness. In emptiness wrongly perceived, there is indeed emptiness but not the concentration of the emptiness of emptiness. 7. Furthermore, the person who contemplates true emptiness possesses, from the beginning, immense qualities by way of generosity, morality, and dhyana. His mind is soft and gentle and his fetters are light. Later he will obtain true emptiness. These advantages are absent in the person of wrong view. He wants to grasp emptiness only by means of speculation, analysis, and wrong concepts. The fool who swallowed pure salt. A peasant was unfamiliar with salt. Seeing a nobleman put salt on his meat and vegetables before eating them, he asked why he did so. The nobleman replied that salt gave a good taste to food. The peasant thought that if salt gave a flavor to food, by itself it should be even better. So he took some pure salt, put it in his mouth and ate it. But a nasty pain hurt his mouth and he asked the nobleman, "Why did you say that salt has a good flavor?" The nobleman replied, "Fool! You have to measure out the amount of salt and mix it with the food to give it a good taste. Why did you eat pure salt?" In the same way, the ignorant person who hears speak of the door of liberation called emptiness does not develop the qualities but wants only to obtain emptiness. That is a wrong view that destroys all the roots of good. This is what should be understood by the teaching on emptiness. The person who enters into the three teaching of the Pitaka, the Abhidharma, and emptiness knows that the teachings of the Buddha do not contradict one another. Understanding that is the power of the Prajñāparamita, which encounters no obstacles to any of the Buddha's teachings. Whoever has not understood the Prajñāparamita will come up against innumerable contradictions in interpreting the Dharma. If he approaches the Abhidharma teaching, he falls into realism. If he approaches the teaching on emptiness, he falls into nihilism. If he approaches the Pitaka teaching, sometimes he falls into realism and sometimes into nihilism. 4. Understanding identical and multiple natures. Furthermore, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva practicing the Prajñāparamita, while discovering the identical characteristics in dharmas, also cognizes their multiples characteristics. While cognizing the multiple characteristics of dharmas, he also cognizes their identical characteristics. This wisdom belonging to the Bodhisattva is called PRAJÑÄ. Question. How does the Bodhisattva Mahasattva cognize the multiple characteristics of all dharmas and their identical characteristics? Answer. 1. Identical characteristics in every dharma. Existence. The Bodhisattva finds in every dharma an identical characteristic, namely, the characteristic of existence. As a result of this existence, a concept arises in regard to each dharma. It is the same for everything that exists. Question. Then how does a concept in regard to a non-existent dharma arise? Answer. If it is declared to be non-existent, it is because the thing exists in some manner. Non-existence. Furthermore, the Bodhisattva sees an identical characteristic in every dharma, namely, a characteristic of non-existence. Thus, the nature of sheep does not exist in the ox and the nature of ox does not exist in the sheep. This is so in every dharma. Each one is without the nature of its neighbor. As we have said above, it is because of existence that there is the arising of a concept. The quality of deprivation, of which we are speaking here, is different from existence. Insofar as it is different, it is non-existent. If existence were mixed up with the fact of being ox, the sheep also would be an ox. Why? Because existence would not differ from the fact of being an ox. Since there is a difference, there is non-existence. And so, in this way, all dharmas are non-existent from a certain point of view. Unity. Furthermore, the Bodhisattva sees a unity in each dharma. Because of this uniqueness, the idea of unity arises in respect to all dharmas, and each dharma in particular has this characteristic of unity. The coming together of unities gives the number 2 or the number 3. Unity alone is real. The numbers 2, 3, etc. are false. The fact of being caused or non-caused. Furthermore, the Bodhisattva sees that dharmas exist insofar as they have a cause. They are impermanent like the human body. How is that? By virtue of the characteristics of birth and destruction. All dharmas exist inasmuch as they have a cause. Furthermore, all dharmas exist without cause. They are impermanent like the human body by reason of birth and destruction. Because of this birth and destruction, we know they are impermanent. The cause, in turn, must have a cause, and so on to infinity. If there is regressus ad infinitum, there is no cause. Whether they are caused or non-caused, dharmas are impermanent, and the cause is not just one. Thus all dharmas are non-caused. The fact of being endowed with a specific characteristic. Furthermore, the Bodhisattva who sees that all dharmas are endowed with a nature, for there is no dharma without nature. Thus earth has solidity and heaviness as nature. Water has coldness and wetness as nature. Fire has heat and light as nature. Wind has lightness and movement as nature. Space has the fact of not impeding as nature. Consciousness has the imprint relating to each object as nature. Direction has the difference between here and there as nature. Time has as nature the difference between now and previously. Sin has a stupid and evil disposition toward beings as nature. Merit has a pure and good disposition in favor of beings as nature. Bondage has attachment to dharmas as nature. Liberation has detachment from dharmas as nature. The Buddha has as nature the actual unimpeded knowledge of all dharmas. Thus all dharmas each has its own nature. The fact of being without a specific nature. Furthermore, the Bodhisattva sees that all dharmas are without nature. Actually, all the characteristics are coming from a complex of causes and conditions.